Bye, guys. Welcome to Music Fancy 101. I'm Nikita, and I am out here in the absolutely beautiful Edith L Nature Sanctuary in Houston, Texas. I figured it was a perfect place to do a video all about breathing, right? If you get a chance to come visit Edith, oh my gosh, she's just a little pocket of paradise in the city. So if you ever get a chance, please do. So breathing, right? So when I say breathing, most people are like, okay, I breathe, right? Most people don't think about their breathing because we can literally do it in our sleep, right? So when I talk about breathing and breathing for singers, or even if you're an actor or trying to do public speaking or anything like that, you have to control your breathing. The key word is control, right? So we want to think about how much air is coming in and how much air is going out, and control that amount, right? Again, control. Control is the name of the word, or the name of the game for breathing. So what we're going to do today is a couple of breathing exercises that you can do anywhere, again, in your car, out at the park, right? Sitting on the toilet, whatever you need. As long as you're sitting up straight. Because again, remember, we want good posture, along with our breathing, and our tall vowels is what makes our beautiful singing. So make sure your posture is nice and relaxed. Shoulders down. You want a lot of space in between your ear and your shoulder, right? You want to have that kind of regal posture, king or queen. Also, the more distance I learned, the more distance you have between your earlobe and your shoulder, the more confident you look. Yeah. So I need this. So relax your shoulders, right? You want your chest elevated, but we're not a soldier or a statue, right? We just want that regal posture, chest elevated. And then we want to think about our lungs, right? We want to think about our lungs and our ribs. Because like I said in the last video, your ribs can open up to create more space for those lungs, right? So as we're sitting here and just normally talking, this is what our lungs or our ribs are doing. And then when we take a deep breath in, they expand, right? You've got all these tiny muscles in between your ribs that help it move. Intercostal, and I forget what the other terms are. But yeah, lots of muscles that help your ribs open up to create all that space for your lungs. Because remember, we want all the space we can get, baby. And then also, I want to talk about the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a tiny, thin muscle. It's like a little strip of muscle right here, right underneath your rib cage. If you find like your little lowest, like you find your rib cage down here, right, and kind of go up, and then right underneath your sternum, there's a little thin muscle called your diaphragm, and it is responsible for helping your lungs take in air and helping your lungs push them out. What it does, like if this is your diaphragm, right? It's right here. I'll put it up here just so you can see. I don't know what my framing looks like right now. So here's your diaphragm muscle. When you take a breath in, it flexes down and actually pushes some of your little visceral parts down away to make more room, right? It's a little extra pocket of air down there that you can get. So that's why when you take a proper, good, deep breath, you feel it in your belly, right? We call it belly breathing in singing. You feel it down here, and that's because what you're feeling is that muscle pushing your organs just a little bit out of the way to make more room. If you've ever seen a little baby sleeping when they're on their back, right? You see their little belly rise and fall as they're breathing. I always found it funny, and I was one of these people too before I learned about proper breathing. When you ask someone to take a deep breath, everybody always goes, right? And there's no point, right? There's no lungs in your shoulders. All this does is cause tension, right? And I don't know where it came from or why we started doing it, but we don't need it. We don't need it. We want that space and we want that relaxed position so that everything else can do its job. So when we take that deep breath in, feel it down here, open the ribs, and then when you exhale, keep those ribs open as long as possible, right? It's a little hard, like you'll feel it wanting to contract because that's what it naturally does, but try your best to keep them open as long as possible. So let's do it together, okay? Take a nice deep, low, slow breath in, expand the ribs, and exhale. Yeah, you feel all that space in your chest now, right? Do it again. So blow out all your air. Breathe in. Yeah, there we go. One more. Breathe in. Feel that space and breathe out. Keeping it open. Very nice, very nice. I'm sure you're nailing it. Again, if you feel any kind of, check your shoulders. Watch yourself in a mirror. It always helps. I know it's hard to do. We are our own worst critics, so when we are forced to look at what we're doing, we tend to look at other things and criticize. So at the very least, try to look at your shoulders, because I guarantee you, a couple of you probably did a little of this. Maybe not this, but you probably did a little. And then I guarantee you, most of you, when you exhaled, felt a little drop in your shoulders. There should be no drop in your shoulders when you exhale. All the movement is happening down here. So we're breathing from our belly, right? Good. Okay. So now that we've practiced really expanding those lungs, let's start with our first warm up. And it's quite simple. All you're going to do is breathe in for 4 beats, then out for 4, then in for 3, out for 3, 2, and 1. And I'll count for you, don't worry. So the goal of this warm up is to get as much air in for 1 count of breath as you did for 4, right? You have plenty of time when you have 4 beats. It's a long time, 2, 3, 4. You have plenty of time to fill up. But 1 beat can feel a little, but I promise you, you still have time to really expand, right? Relax into it. If you feel yourself feeling anxious, just whew, and then try it again, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is blow out all our air, and then we're going to count in or breathe in for 4. Also, fair warning, don't breathe in too fast. Control how fast you intake. So if you're finding yourself filling up already at beat 2 and holding your breath, don't hold your breath. Let's just say that for the record. Don't ever hold your breath when you're trying to sing or speak or whatever it is. It's just not good, right? You get dizzy. So when you take that 4 counts, really take your time to fill up. It's almost like a meditative state, right? Think about that breathing. And then as you get to the 1, just keep in that same open, relaxed state and fill up. You'll be fine. So let's do 1 together. Ready? So blow out all your air first. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, then out. 2, 3, 4, then in. 2, think low. 3, out. 2, 3, then in. 2, out. 2, big 1, in, out. How'd you do? Did you really fill up? Be honest with yourself, because I find that in singing, most of the things that we're required to do, we don't really understand how big they should be, right? How much space we need in our mouth, how much room we need in our lungs, how much we need to breathe. So we're going to do it again, and this time, even if you're like, yeah, I think I filled up, I want you to see if you can take in just a little bit more. Don't overdo it. Don't hurt yourself. Definitely don't pass out. But obviously, if you start feeling dizzy, please stop and make sure that you sit down. I should have said that in the beginning. But please make sure you don't get dizzy. Hyperventilating is a real thing. I don't need anybody falling. So, right, so make sure that you are taking in as much air as you do for the 4 as you do for the 1, and be honest with yourself. So let's try it again. Blow out all your air first. And breathe in. 2, 3, open those ribs. 4, then out. 2, 3, 4, then in. 2, 3, out. You should still feel relaxed. 3, then in. 2, out. 2, big 1, in, out. Yeah, you should feel nice and relaxed now if you're doing it right. Very, very nice. So the next breathing exercise that I'd like to do is, it's just counting, and you are going to hold a note, but the note doesn't matter, okay? You can pick whatever note feels comfortable. I'm going to sing something that's a little bit lower just so I can, if the people that want to sing with me want to, I can include some of the guys, but you just pick your own note. And because all we're going to do is count on it. We're going to take that same, we're going to blow out all our air, take that same 4 counts in, right? Taking our time. And then we're going to start counting on a note. And we're going to see just how far we can get. Okay? So I'll do it first. I'm going to start listening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 15, 16, 17, so on and so forth. Okay? That one, again, I don't want to spend too much more time on it because that's all it is. But make sure you do it at least 2 or 3 times, because you'll see that even after the second time, you'll probably get a little bit higher, even if it's just 1 number higher. That's success, right? Little victories. Yeah. So even if you get a couple numbers past, that shows improvement. That's showing that your lungs are expanding and they're responding to the control. So 2 or 3 times, right? Try to beat the time that you did before. And if you'd like, tell me in the comments how you did. I'd love to hear kind of where the average is. My students kind of have an average, but I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to taint what you think you should be doing. Because remember, this is your journey. If you get to 5, and that's a goal, right? So make your next goal 6. It does not matter as long as you are focusing. Music is one of those amazing things where as long as you try, as long as you give consistent effort, let me put that word in there, consistent effort, you will get better. Now, how long that takes varies from person to person. It also varies on how much you practice. I tell my students you should be doing your practices at least once a day, right? I try to be as specific as 10-15 minutes up to 30. It doesn't take much, depending on what you're practicing or what you're preparing for. But it just needs to be every day. A little bit every day is how our brains work. It's just science, guys, just science. Yeah, so we have that breathing warm-up. And then the last breathing warm-up that I want to do is going to be just a regular kind of meditative breathing exercise. And I like it because it really gets your focus off of really everything except for your breathing and what you're about to do with your hand. And some of you may have seen this before in like a meditative and yoga and stuff like that. I think that's where I learned it from. Might have been Adrienne, Yoga with Adrienne. I love her, she's from Austin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our comfortable hand and we're gonna use our thumb and our pinky, right? So what we're gonna do is start with our thumb and we're gonna plug our right nostril. We're gonna close our right nostril like this and we're gonna take 4 counts in. Then we're gonna switch to our pinky and our left nostril and we're gonna breathe out for 4 counts. Then we're gonna stay there, breathe in for 4. And then on the exhale, switch to your thumb and breathe out. Ooh, you might have some boogers, like I did. But it's okay, right? The focus is really just controlling the air and really filling up those lungs. So we're gonna do a couple together. Are you ready? Remember, relax your shoulders, breathe deep and low, feel it in your belly. We don't want any movement up here whatsoever. We want all this to just be enjoying the show, right? So, take your hand, start with your thumb in your right nostril. Breathe in. And out. Stay there, breathe in. Switch and out. Breathe in. Switch out. Stay there. Switch out. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Switch out. Stay there. And out. Good. How'd you do? You should feel nice and relaxed. I hope this helps. Like I said, breathing tends to be one of the biggest issues with beginner singers. We just don't understand truly how much space our lungs can make. So make sure you're practicing every day. I want to give also another special thanks to Mr. Jason and also everybody who's been giving me such love and support. I love you guys so much. Go get out in nature, do some breathing, and as always, stay golden, and I'll see you guys next time.